Hey Vikings, I'm Noelle Hailey with the Norseman podcast. Senior Briasia Robertson is here with me today to discuss Brazos Valley Blessings, one of the organizations she volunteers for. Thanks for talking with us, Briasia.
Of course.
Okay, so I guess I should start off with when did your mom start Brazos Valley Blessings?
Brazos Valley Blessings began in November, early December in 2020. Just pretty much her and my dad came up with the idea of assisting families for Christmas, and we did it for 5 to 10 families.
Wow. Was there like a instance she was like, okay, yeah, I have a yearning and urge to start this nonprofit?
Not necessarily. So it didn't begin as a nonprofit. It just began as helping out friends and family. Again, we come from a family who didn't necessarily have it, and then when we did have it, my dad and my mom always wanted to give back, so they did, and it was just during COVID, so it just made sense to help.
Yeah. So would you consider your family like philanthropists?
My mom, I would consider her a philanthropist. My dad, on the other hand, was just someone who just saw the need and helped.
Wow. Did you ever see people do it around you? Because, like, what's that one saying? Like, if you, like, give to one person and they, like, go forth, like, and prosper with that. Was that
Yeah.
ever something you saw?
Yes. So my mom has always been in the philanthropy like environment, all the way from when I was 3 years old till now. And I guess it's just been like something she's seen her whole life. She's been someone who she didn't really have much as well growing up. So when she was able to provide that to others, she did it until she doesn't want to know.
Wow. That's amazing. So what is the primary purpose and mission of Brazos Valley Blessings?
Our purpose and mission would be to build the Brazos and to end poverty and the whole entire Brazos Valley.
Yeah, that's amazing. So how many impoverished families do you, or it's not even a specific amount, like a good generalization of the amount of families that you do help? So how what is that number?
There's not necessarily a number. I can tell you that we help families every single day. Families from our Christmas list, families who reach out because they were displaced. We get families who they're going through CPS and they need this, that, and the other. And we go to our client closet and we fill that need for them.
Wow, that's amazing. So not only are you a student, but you are also a part of the board for Brazos
Yes.
Valley Blessings. So how are you specifically involved with this nonprofit organization?
So I started off as a junior board member, assisting as needed. My position was raised to social media and volunteer coordinator, and here and there I help with the marketing team.
Wow. Okay, so for those of you that don't know, my good friend Briasia just got into TSU and PV. So do you plan to use what you have learned from being a board member of Brazos Valley Blessings and your marketing experience to do you plan to apply it when you do go to college?
Yes, ma'am. I plan to go into marketing and get my business association degree in that.
Wow. So what do you plan to do after that?
Hopefully continue helping others and provide services for marketing to everyone that I can at a inexpensive rate.
Yeah, that's amazing. So we did talk about what your job is as being a board member and you being the head of marketing. Well, could you tell me a little bit more about your duties, like go more in depth on that?
Yeah. So as far as volunteers, I secure volunteers for any and every event that we do. I ensure that they're aware of what they're doing, what they're gonna have that day. Just try to make sure everything's in line as far as that. Um, for social media, I try to update any type of event we have going on as much as I can, daily or weekly. And far as marketing, I work with a team of girls. My interns are my favorite people. They help me out with everything, and I just pretty much, just do everything that I can. Graphic, networking, a little bit of everything.
Wow. So when you mentioned favorite people, I thought I would be one of those. But I guess I'm not right now.
No,
But
girl, you are.
we'll talk about that later. Okay. What do you work on with social media marketing and volunteer coordination? So what specifically are you doing with that?
Okay, so for example, I can tell you we just had our annual gala. We did very great, and I was supposed to secure at least 80 volunteers, and I did that. I was able to secure 80 volunteers with the Bryan ambassadors. So huge thank you to y'all. We definitely appreciate the brand ambassadors for that.
Yeah.
And again, so that was like the main thing. I was supposed to secure them, ensure that they knew what they were doing when they got there, that, hey, you're going to go do wait staff, or you're going to go help serve food. You know, like I had my door greeters there. Just ensuring that they did eat food as well. I feed every volunteer for every event that we do, so I have to make sure that I have food for them as well. I provide hours for them. I'm the one who writes off all the hours.
Yeah.
And secure them and make sure that they're all correct when they do apply for them.
Yeah.
As far as marketing, everything. I make all the graphics for it. I set up interviews with KBTX a lot, with Rusty and Caleb Britt. I try to do a little of profit shares. We try to do those with Kendra Scott. We do those here frequently. And the social media is kind of tied in with my marketing. When I do something for marketing, I go ahead and upload it to social media. That's our Facebook, Instagram, Brazos Valley Blessings. And, I mean, that's pretty much it as far as that.
Wow, that's really amazing. I love that for you, Bill. Okay, moving on to the next question. Why do you believe it is crucial for young people to be involved with volunteer work like this? Because not only are you a board member, but you're also a student. So, yeah, why is that very important?
This is important to me because, again, I was raised in a house with philanthropy and philanthropists, and it's essentially, it could be you out there. It could be your family. It could be your friend. And to know that you're out there helping, it's such a inspiring, you know, like, hopeful and also, like, very, like, humbling experience. Like, you get to learn, like, hey, that's my friend. And or that person is on the football team at my school, and they're in need of assistance for Christmas, you know? So it's, like, it's very humbling.
Wow. Like, could you ever tell me a specific moment, but without, like, talking about that specific person? Like, where you were just humbled? Not necessarily about a person at the school, or just, like, an event where you were like, oh, wow, the reality of our community.
Yeah, it really comes from those events. Like, for right now, I can tell you now we have a specific apartment company as of right now in College Station. Their gas is off and their water is off, and they've been without since before Thanksgiving.
Wow.
They haven't had resources to get food if they don't have water again. So it's just kind of like, oh my God. And we didn't find that out until like the week of Thanksgiving. So they went Thanksgiving Day without anything, without being able to spend time with families. Again, very humbling and very much so like, oh my God, like when are they going to say nothing? We didn't figure that out. And it was just very hectic, and we're still going through the motions with that and trying to ensure that each and every family over there is able to get assistance.
Yeah, wow. Now, I've never noticed how eye-opening that really is and how humbling it is, but I'm really glad you shared that. What has been the most rewarding part of working for BVB?
The most rewarding part is knowing that I am living my late father's dream and, you know, working in his honor.
Yeah.
My mom getting to work and show her like, hey, you are inspiring me. Like, this is something that I want to do.
Wow.
And then showing others like, hey, this is not something that like you play around with. This is serious. Like, we're going to have our moments and we're going to have fun, but it's definitely something that I've learned like, hey, this is like one of my passions.
Wow. Okay, yeah. I'm going to circle back a little bit because before I was asking you about, I believe the way your social media marketing and your volunteer coordination correspond together, but this one specifically about the gala. So can you tell me a little bit about the third annual community Christmas gala and silent auction?
Yeah, of course. Our third annual community Christmas gala and silent auction was wonderful. It's the event that we use to raise all of the funds for our Christmas season. We have about 50 to 75 families on our Christmas list.
Wow.
Which is not that many for us every year, but we have that many, and we have to raise money for each and every kid on the list, and it's our eye-opener, and we just kind of recap the year, go over the events that we've had within the last year, and explain to others, like, hey, like, this is our goal. this is what we're trying to do. We're trying to build the Brazos. We're trying to end poverty. Come out and come help us, support us. And this year we were able to raise about $13,000
Wow.
from our gala.
Mhm.
So
Yeah, that's amazing. So do you believe that it was a success, and what can you do better for next year after learning what has happened this past Christmas gala?
I do believe it was a success. We were able to provide, socks, shoes, underwear, their item of their choice that they requested.
Mm-hmm.
And then for our teenagers, we give them gift cards of $25 value. I do believe that next year that we could be like a little bit, we're typically very structured, but I feel like if we had a little bit like, the behind the scenes is crazy.
Yeah.
Everyone on our board they're volunteers. Most of them are educators.
Mm-hmm.
Again, some are in philanthropies. Most of them, our treasurer, for instance, she's in Wisconsin.
Wow.
So she's like deployed with kids. So it's just kind of like we need a little bit more time.
Mm-hmm.
And I think that's what it was this year, is that we kind of ran out of time.
Yeah, wow, that's crazy. I'm gonna divert a little bit, talking specifically about the gala. Not only did I work this gala, but another member of the BHS Norseman did as well. Will, can't remember his last name, but yeah, Will worked it as well. And while we were working the gala, there's a moment where I needed to get something from a specific room that I put my stuff in this room, and I needed to get it. And then there was like a hallway of volunteers. They were all there, and then there was a door at the end. So I passed them, and they're all staring at me, like in silence. And I'm walking past, and I'm like, why are they staring at me? And then I get to the door. I'm about to open the door. All of the BVB communities in there cheering to whatever they're cheering to. The room is dead silent. I like peek my head through the door, and everybody looks at me, and I'm like, okay, and then I leave. Now, every time I remember the gala, I think of that specific moment. But
oh my God, no, girlie, I swear, when you walked in, so we were actually saying our prayer. We pray every year before we go out and get started with the gala. And when you walked in, everybody kind of was just like, oh, like, who is this walking in on prayer? Is this a board member we forgot about? And then so when you walked out, everybody looks at me and they're like, Bria's such your friend. And I'm like, yeah, that's my friend. And they're like, yeah, we can tell. She seems very sweet. It was nothing about it.
I was so scared after that. But continuing on, after the gala, okay, so the purpose was to raise all that money so you could provide for these families. So next, I believe we have the box build. Am I correct?
Yeah.
Okay, so can you tell me more about that?
So our box build is essentially what it sounds like. We build boxes for the families and put all of their items in a box for each and every kid.
Mm-hmm.
So John Doe is 5 years old. He wears a size 5 in shoes, size 2 in underwear. He asks for building blocks and educational toys, and we're going to put all of that stuff that we got from the store into one box. And we're going to do the same for his sister and his other little brother. We're going to put them in the box, and then we're going to call their family like, hey, don't forget tomorrow that we have our distribution day. Be here at 10 a.m. to 2 p.m. Come get your items, and come get some free little vouchers that we have. Come get some cute little items. We'll have vendors there. And that's pretty much it for the box build. Our box build is actually only for volunteers, so select people as well. So, look out for that email, ambassadors. As far as our distribution day, that's open. We have that the next day. So the box build is on the 20th of December, and then our distribution is on the 21st.
Wow. Okay. Is there any other events coming up for BVB after that? Well, after we finish the box build and distributing?
We haven't really necessarily talked about everything else. I know we'll have an empowerment event. That's typically for the kiddos who are involved, whose parents are involved into philanthropy. We invite them out and we're like, hey, let's celebrate you.
Yeah.
So we do little empowerment events, and then we also have Easter coming up.
Mm-hmm.
Easter is one of our hugest event ever. It's one very huge, very big. Last year we were able to help over 500 people who
Wow.
just wanted to come. It's a free event. We do Hot dogs, cheeseburgers, chips, drinks. We have an Easter bunny. We do our egg hunt is big too because we do from 0 to 19. So like high schoolers come to the egg hunt. I have volunteers every year who come and they push those little kids out the way. I push little kids out the way and I tell them, move, let me get these Easter eggs.
Bye. Was Bud one of them?
Yes. My little brother was one of them. I push them out the way and I'm like, hey, like move, We have that. We do a face painting. We have games. So we have a lot for Easter. And then fast forward all the way to July. We do Christmas in July, which is as soon as July 25th. We drop our tickets for our gala. We post the theme for the gala. Everything starts like we immediately start our
all
community
over again.
Christmas. Yeah, so we don't. And then I'm typically starting all of my graphic designs and everything for the next gala now.
Oh, we're not even a month out. That's crazy. What would students need to do if they wanted to get involved and volunteer with BVB?
Students can reach out to me via email. It's volunteers.bvblessings@gmail.com. That's about it. Just reach out. Let us know that you want to volunteer and that you're a student volunteer, and I'll send you the link, and I'll send volunteer emails as the year goes by.
Wow, that's amazing. Briasia, thank you so much for taking the time to speak with me today and share a little bit about Brazos Valley Blessings.
Of course.